My Dance Hub Student of the Week show. I'm Brian Hankins, and today we have Maya Assaf, salsa and all-around social dancer. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
It's good to have you here. So I like to start out asking people, how did you get started dancing on your dance journey?
Oh God, it was summer last year, and to be frankly honest, I'm not gonna lie, I was hitting a low point in my personal life. I wasn't happy.
You needed a change.
I wanted a change, and I was looking for a new hobby, and it was either dancing or photography, and they were equally expensive, I would say. But I felt, at least with dancing, there is the social aspect to it.
So you're meeting new people.
Right, so I went with dancing.
Yeah, how did you find My Dance Hub?
So I looked for a few places around where I live in Naperville, and some of them I didn't like the vibe. It was kind of like old school. I wanted something, more modern, younger crowd, and I actually, I was driving on 83, and I just saw My Dance Hub, and I called the place, and 10 minutes later the owner called me, and it was love at a first conversation, I guess.
Awesome.
She was very nice, and I was looking forward to come to the studio and meet everyone else.
So how did you get started? Did you show up and it was like a group class, or did you have a private lesson first?
It was a private. It was the intro lesson. I met one of the admins, and I had it was my first teacher. I met him there, and it was a great interaction, and I ended up signing up for my first package. I had no plans to sign up. I just wanted to try it out.
Let's just see what this thing is like.
Right, but it was so great that I signed up on the spot.
I think it's great for that. We talk a lot about in these interviews where people come in and they'll say, whatever, I want to learn salsa, like a specific dance. But they end up staying because they meet a lot of friends. They kind of connect with everyone.
It becomes like family.
I talked about that with Denny and Jill a lot too. For them who are performing, they feel like it's like great to have like the social support, like performing, and everybody's like supportive no matter what happens on the dance floor, right? Like you worry that everyone's going to be like judging you, right?
True.
But for the most part, people are super supportive, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and one thing I like about My Dance Hub, it feels like a family. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't have that franchise, atmosphere. It's very family oriented, I would say. A lot of families come here, and the owner and the staff are very welcoming and warming to us, so it feels really...
I think that's a great thing.
It's very different.
It's a nice culture that Jana's developed, which I think a lot of people feel, and a lot of people have commented on as I've been talking to them, just how they feel very comfortable here and feel like it's like a family, so that's so cool. Guys ask you to dance in a social situation at a place like this, not like a bar scenario. Do you see it as like, well, let's see how good I am at following, or how do you approach it when you're dancing with a new person?
Well, one of the things I'm excited about dancing is that personally, I like to be in control. So it was a struggle to let go of the control and have someone to lead. So I think I am personally working on letting go of being in control and having someone lead me, and it's more of the fact that I can follow without knowing what's going to happen next.
Yeah, it's kind of cool when it all works out, right?
It is.
I was telling a story where I had learned a routine and I was dancing with like a brand new person, and for the most part they were able to follow. I was like, wow, this stuff actually works.
That means you're a good leader.
Well, yeah, she was a good follower too, so it's like it's definitely a double-edged sword, and you kind of have to work together.
True.
But I was like, wow, it's cool, it does work.
It doesn't make you feel good.
Yeah, it feels like that was joking with Denny and Jill. It's like every now and then you get these moments where you're like, it all works. They're few and far between, but when they happen, it's like, this is awesome, it worked. You have to struggle to get those, but when you do, it's like great. So I don't know, it's awesome. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Are we gonna practice this routine?
Do we need to?
No, I want to know. Can I follow?
We'll have to try it. Maybe after the interview. We'll see.
Okay, we'll see.
After the interview.
After.
A most embarrassing dance moment or proudest dance moment?
Oh God, I do actually. I do. Okay, so I'm not too proud of it, but I was doing a salsa lesson, and we were doing the cross body lead with the inner turn, and we were doing the neck roll where
the neck roll is always weird. I don't know.
Well, I didn't know what a neck roll was, and in my family I have a brother, and him and I, we joke a lot, and he always grabbed me from my neck and pulled me closer, and I hate it. I hate it. So when the teacher reached out to do the neck roll, I slapped his hand. And he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Why are you touching me?" And he's like, "I want to turn you."
Yeah.
So it took me a couple slaps until I got used to. I got
I'll
comfortable.
make sure not to try the neck roll.
Don't try it.
It
took me a while to get comfortable.
Yeah. What's the hardest thing about dancing for you? And if you could change something about it, is there something you would change, or?
So one question at a time. The hardest thing about dancing, I think, is balance, and I'm still struggling, but it's good because it comes from the core. So I'm working on having that balance where I don't tip and fall.
Yeah, and I think dancing teaches you a lot of the whole like posture and keeping everything up in a straight line, and so that obviously helps with balance. And then if you start to play around with like learning spins and all that.
It's still a struggle, but what I'm saying is it's a good workout because it has to be coming from your core. So it's hard, but it's good.
I think we were talking about this with someone else, that it does it's good for your body, right? It's good for your body to move, especially for so many of us that have desk jobs in front of a computer. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have a hobby where we're like moving our body and doing something to work on the core versus sitting in front of a computer or doing something on our phone.
Getting those steps in.
We're getting our steps in. What about this one? If you could give advice to someone just starting out dancing, what would you tell them? Like if they just walk in the door and you want to give them kind of the right mentality for it.
Do not look down on your feet. Keep looking up. And if you're...
That is natural. It's like your first instinct is like, are my feet going
right, and it never ends well. It never ends well. Do not look down. And I would say if your teacher tell you you're doing a good job, believe them. Because I always criticize myself and I don't believe that I'm doing good. But if the teacher is telling you you're doing well, just take it, be happy and enjoy it, and do not look down.
What about this one? How has a failure or apparent failure at the time set you up for a later success? And this could be in life in general or in dancing.
I don't think of failure as a failure. I think of it as a struggle. Like I think I count my struggles more than my failure. I try to stay positive. And I mean, I look at it, I came here 12 years ago and it has been a struggle.
You came here
to the United States. I immigrated 12 years ago, and I think I've been struggling since then, but that struggle, I take it as motivation to grow and evolve. So it was a struggle to learn the language and to learn about the culture, to just blend in and fit in. And you can find that struggle with moving somewhere new or starting a new job or going to school or even coming to the studio. It took me a while to feel like I do fit in this world where I'm a beginner, I'm not a pro, but I'm blending in with people who've been doing it for years. So I don't count my failures. I try to stay positive, and I look at my struggles as, my motive to become better and evolve.
Was there anything else you want to cover before I wrap this up? Anything else you want to talk about?
I wanted to answer the second question of what would I change about the dancing world?
Right? Let's go back to that.
I guess it would be nice if dancing was essential and mandatory. Like I wish I had learned it in school. I wish I grew with a culture that dancing is essential.
Well, I think there's some cultures where they do start young. It was more common. I know when I was talking to Yana, she was saying it was like more common for them when they were young just to do dancing as part of like finishing school almost.
Maybe we should start here.
I mean, I think it'd be great because I think a lot of so what you'll see in ballroom is a lot of women there and many guys. It's like there's even like a cultural thing a little bit of like it's not cool or I don't know what it is, not masculine or something. But I feel like if people started it when they were younger, maybe it wouldn't have that same stigma.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Also, there's a lot of benefits to dancing. It actually improves your cognitive performance, and your physical health. Mentally, physically, and it puts you in a better mood. So I don't know why we haven't learned dancing in school.
I know, right? I think those of us that do it, we see the benefits.
We do.
But then it's like always hard to explain it to someone else and get them to try it.
I always say, my dancing lesson is the happiest 45 minutes of my day.
That's right. So you look forward to it every week, right?
It is. It's my happiest 45 minutes of my day.
I think you're right, too, a little bit that when you have a stressful job that's maybe very analytical, it's nice to have something that's artistic and creative and is separate from that. Or even physical, like you're moving. And I think there's something really nice about that. That's a good break from the normal everyday life.
I agree, and to me, I'm an extrovert, if you can tell.
I know, it's very clear. No,
so to me, dancing has fulfilled my needs with meeting people, making new friends, and a very safe environment. It's not an awkward environment, right? And as I said, they're working professionals just like me. They're finding this avenue of just letting go of their worries and enjoying this hour of their day. And I carry these relationships outside of the studio, so it has been nothing but a bliss.
That's awesome. I think that's a good place to end unless you had anything else.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay,
Thank you for having me.
I'll take us out. This has been another episode of the My Dance Hub Student of the Week. Until next time, do what you love and keep dancing.